Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Premier League club now ready to pay £35 million to sign a frightening Arsenal player. Fulham are now advancing in their interest to sign Arsenal striker Folarin Balogun and have set their maximum price they'd be prepared to pay. That's according to a report in the MailOnline, which outlines that the club would not be willing to pay any more than £35 million. The same report states that Arsenal are holding out for £45 million for Balogun, a slight reduction on their initial £50 million price tag earlier this summer. However, with a gap in valuations between the clubs remaining, it will be interesting to see if either party will compromise. Arsenal seemingly would be prepared to sell Balogun to Fulham this summer, but only at the right price. Fulham are perhaps looking for a striker in wake of the news that Saudi Arabia interest is once again mounting for striker Mitrovic. The striker previously made it clear that he would be open to the move, and with the journalist Fabrizio Romano confirming that Al Hilal wants to complete a move this week, things may move quickly. If Mitrovic does leave Craven Cottage this summer, Fulham's striking department would look quite underwhelming. Carlos Vinicius has had his moments for the club, but hasn't done enough to consistently earn a starting spot. Raul Jimenez arrived this summer, but at 32 his recent form would suggest that his best years are behind him. And with Rodrigo Muniz and Jay Stansfeld right on the periphery of the first team, improvements would need to be made. Sanctioning a sale at the mentioned prices would massively benefit Arsenal too. Mikel Arteta is still thought to have targets this summer, but will need to clear out some unwanted player first. And if Fulham do end up meeting Arsenal's price tag for frightening Balogun, then the club may again take to the market. It's been a very productive summer for Arsenal thus far, and the progress with the player departures could yield even further success. Extraordinary £22 million Arsenal ace has been the subject of an inquiry by a Premier League club. Arsenal are trying to offload some of their squad, and reports suggest that a Premier League club has made an inquiry over one of their players, with Arsenal spending a lot this summer as they try to build a squad to compete for the title. A lot of the players on the fringe look to have no future at the club. According to a new report from the Daily Mail, Nottingham Forest have sent an inquiry to the Gunners asking whether they could sign Tavares on loan. The report goes on to say that Tavares does not appear to be part of Mikel Arteta's plans after returning from his League One loan this summer. Tavares had a rocky period in his first season at Arsenal. This saw him loaned out to League One side Marseille last season. At the French club, Tavares massively impressed. Despite being a fullback, Tavares managed 6 goals and defended well in his 39 appearances. Despite this, it looks like the Arsenal career of the 23-year-old is somewhat over. The club already have 2 left backs above the Portuguese international in the pecking order. Due to this, it seems like a move away from the club benefits all parties. Tavares has shown he can play to a high level, and sitting on the bench will not help his growth. If he were to go, then Arsenal would reportedly want around £22 million for him. With him not in the plans of Arteta, it would be definitely better for them if they could sell him instead of a loan. Despite this, if the only inquiry that comes in for the extraordinary player is a loan move by Nottingham Forest, then it would still benefit the club to get him off the wage bill. Paul Merson tips £65 million Arsenal player to be a big hit for Arteta this season. Pundit Paul Merson has been speaking about Arsenal, and he believes that one player will be a big hit for Mikel Arteta this season. Arsenal have been signing some top talent this summer, and it's a huge statement of intent emphasizing that they want to challenge for the title. Players signed so far have included Declan Rice, Kai Havertz and Jurriën Timber. Merson was speaking about the Gunners after their first game. Merson believes Havertz could be a big hit this season, and despite many believing that he was a surprise signing, it seems like Merson is tipping him for good things. Havertz, who reportedly signed for Arsenal for around £65 million this summer, needs to impress after not being consistently at his best at Chelsea. Speaking on Sportskida, pundit Paul Merson said, I didn't like the fact that Thomas Partey started at right back ahead of Takahiro Tomiyasu. I also don't see Kai Havertz as a midfielder. However, I have faith in him, and he is the kind of player you want when games open up. It will be interesting to see how Mikel Arteta goes about using these players over the course of the new campaign. It will be very interesting to see how Havertz is mainly used at the Gunners currently. It seems like he will be playing further back under Arteta, despite the fact that Havertz joining the club surprised fans of the club. Arteta has massively improved the squad. No doubt he has a plan for the German, and if it flourishes, then there is a good chance that Arsenal can challenge Manchester City for the title. Sam Allardyce says Arsenal have made the best signing in the Premier League this summer. There have been some fantastic signings in the Premier League so far this summer. Moses Caicedo to Chelsea has broken the British transfer record. James Maddison to our rival Tottenham looks like an incredibly exciting move, while Moussa Diaby to Aston Villa could well prove to be an underrated piece of transfer business. However, according to Sam Allardyce, speaking on the No Tippy Tappy Football podcast, Arsenal are the team that have made the best signing in the Premier League so far this summer. Allardyce, along with his guest Kyle Robinson, concluded that Declan Rice was the best signing of the summer. Allardyce gave his verdict on Arsenal's new midfield star. The best signing of the summer so far, Big Sam was asked. Declan Rice, Robinson answered, Yeah, I'd have to go along with that. Yeah, Declan Rice. He's excellent, honestly. I didn't realize how good he was. It's way too early to be calling anyone the signing of the summer. For a start, the window still has 2 weeks to run, so we could still see something crazy happen before the deadline, and on top of that, we are only one game in. If we were judging the signing of the summer based solely on performances so far, Sandro Tonali would be the runaway winner of that award after his incredible Newcastle debut. But as we all know, it's a long season and the judgments can change. Rice could well be one of the best signings of this window, but at £105 million, the risk attached to this one is incredibly high. But then again, so is the potential reward. Arsenal could look at signing 23-year-olds as a journalist. According to Dina Jones, speaking on the Done Deal show, Mohamed Simakan is one player to keep an eye on. The RB Leipzig defender was linked to Arsenal earlier in the window, and Jones has spoken up the idea of the Gunners returning for the defender. Jones shared his verdict on the 23-year-old. He said, I'll just say they were linked with Simakan as well heading into the summer, so that's probably one that holds a half decent value as well. It's just one to keep an eye on too, and not forget because the same names keep cropping up across the summer, and they haven't moved yet. Simakan certainly fits the bill in terms of what Arsenal are looking for in a timber alternative. The Gunners will want a young, athletic right back who can also play at centre half, and they should look no further than Simakan. Simakan is certainly a strong player who could hold his own at the heart of the defense, while he also has the necessary speed to own the right flank. According to the speeds database, Simakan has hit a top speed of 20.64. That is an incredible pace for a defender. For context, that's faster than Sadio Mane, a winger who is widely accepted to be one of the fastest players on the planet. At the age of 23, this is a young man who has plenty of room to improve, and he could be a great depth option as Arsenal try to compete on four fronts next season. Arsenal may have to dip back into the transfer market to sign another defender this summer. After Urian Timber picked up an ACL injury, the Gunners are once again looking short at the back. It could be argued that an injury to William Saliba cost the North London club the Premier League title last season, and they will want to avoid the same fate this time around. Arsenal and Tottenham are both looking at signing extraordinary attacker who is a record breaker. Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur could be set to go head-to-head over the signing of Barcelona winger Ansu Fati this summer. Spanish journalist Adrian Sanchez took to X on Thursday morning and claimed that both Arsenal and Tottenham are interested in signing Fati. Tottenham are in the market for a new attacker after selling their talisman Harry Kane to Bayern München over the weekend. As for Arsenal, it's well documented that Mikel Arteta is keen to bring in competition for Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side. Indeed, the Gunners have already missed out on targets such as Rafinha and Mykhailo Mudryk over the past year, and it seems they could rival Tottenham for the signature of Ansu Fati this summer. Sanchez claims that both Arsenal and Spurs are following Fati's situation at Barcelona. The journalist notes that Fati's agent Jorge Mendes has received formal proposals for the winger in the past. He wrote, Arsenal and Tottenham follow the evolution of the Ansu Fati case. In the past, Mendes has received formal proposals. Fati made a huge impact when he initially broke into Barcelona's first team and remains a record breaker as he became their youngest ever scorer in La Liga. The 20-year-old has struggled with injuries over the past 3 seasons, though, which has significantly hampered his progress at Barca. Nevertheless, the Spain international is an extraordinary talent, and it's no surprise that both Spurs and Arsenal are monitoring his situation. He was mainly used as a backup option under Xavi last season, and it may be the right time for the youngster to move on in search of regular first-team football. Of course, regular minutes would be unlikely at Arsenal with Gabriel Martinelli and Saka in the squad. Arsenal could land one of Europe's most talented defenders for £34 million plus add-ons. The Gunners could well delve into the summer transfer market once again to bring in cover for Timber. According to Fabrizio Romano, Bayern München's Benjamin Pavard could become an option for Arsenal this summer. Arsenal would likely be up against a host of other teams, including Inter Milan, such as Manchester United and Liverpool. Florian Plettenberg has now provided an update which is useful for Arsenal, namely how much Bayern want for Pavard. Apparently, the Bavarians want more than €40 million plus add-ons for the Frenchman. As a result, Inter have to increase their offer now. They reportedly bid €30 million, including add-ons. With Arsenal needing a versatile defender, Pavard would certainly be a good shot. He is a serial winner who has lifted numerous league titles, the Champions League, and the 2018 World Cup. Many rate Pavard highly. 90 Minutes stated that the player is one of Europe's most talented fullbacks. Pavard can play at right back and also in the heart of defense, either on the left or on the right. While he is not cheap, £34 million plus add-ons certainly isn't exorbitant at Arsenal's level. Arsenal have now opened talks to sign exceptional £60 million Manchester City player. Arsenal are looking for a new fullback after the injury to Urian Timber and have now reportedly opened talks with Manchester City's Joao Cancelo. Cancelo has been mentioned for much of the summer when it comes to Arsenal. Since returning from a loan spell with Bayern, Cancelo's career has been in limbo a bit, but according to 90 Minute, Arsenal could offer the fullback a lifeline. 90 Minute claims that while there is big interest from Barcelona, it's Arsenal who have opened discussions over signing the Portuguese star. The exceptional Cancelo has fallen out of favour with Pep Guardiola, but then he also failed to impress in München as well, with Bayern opting not to sign him permanently. Cancelo would slot in for Arsenal, given his ability to play both fullback positions. Crucially, he is accustomed to stepping into the midfield, just like Mikel Arteta asked of Zinchenko. City paid huge money, more than £50 million to sign Cancelo, and it remains to be seen whether they'd let yet another player join Arsenal. Guardiola has already let Zinchenko and Jesus join the Gunners, while Mikel Arteta also tried to get Ilkay Gundogan in the summer as well. It would seem odd for City to strengthen their biggest rival if they let Arsenal sign Cancelo, then it will certainly be a bold, old call from the club. Cancelo remains a class act in many ways, and there is no doubt that if playing well, he improves this Arsenal side a lot. Having been mentioned so much this summer, it always seemed unlikely that Cancelo would join Arsenal. However, it very much looked like it could be on, and that in the end, the Gunners might get their man. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.